Today, the United States of America is changing its relationship with the people of Cuba. In the most significant changes in our policy in more than 50 years, we will end an outdated approach that for decades has failed to advance our interests, and instead, we will begin to normalize relations between our two countries. Through these changes, we intend to create more opportunities for the American and Cuban people and begin a new chapter among the nations of the Americas.
Isn't that just lovely? You know, we played a soundbite that he didn't say Taliban in. I'm so disappointed. All right, folks, joining us now is Joe Connor, anti-terrorism advocate, testifies before Congress often. His father was killed by the FALN terrorists. Joe, welcome.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
40 years ago, the anniversary just came.
Yeah, January 24th was the 40-year anniversary. It's stunning to me that it's been 40 years. You know, I was 9 years old when he was killed, so you can guess how old I am now. And he didn't deserve what he got. You know, he was murdered by the FALN, and Clinton's released the terrorists with Eric Holder's help. And I'm fighting that. I've been working at this for decades, and my father was a great man. He deserved a lot better than what he's gotten.
Absolutely. And the video that we saw here, the soundbite with Obama touting the new relationship with Cuba, when Cuba has at least two people we could think of offhand, but one that you and I have talked about before, sure. That directly relates to the FALN, yes, and needs to be brought back. And it's a sin that is a prereq, or is a, to any kind of enhanced relations with Cuba. This president didn't demand his return.
The first condition should have been demanding the return of these terrorists and fugitives that are in Cuba. And we're talking about William Morales. Yep. He was the FALN bomb maker. He likely built the bomb that killed my father. And on what would have been my dad's 37th birthday, July 12, 1978, he blew his hands apart in a bomb factory in Queens. He was arrested, he was tried, he was sentenced to 89 years in New York, 99 years overall, escaped from prison. How does a no-hand man escape from prison? Anyway, he ends up in Cuba after being in Mexico. He's been a guest of the Castros since 1988. And from what I know from my friends in the Joint Terrorism Task Force, Morales is not liked in Cuba anymore. He's worn out his welcome. So as a precondition for any negotiation with Cuba,
no-brainer, right?
No-brainer to bring him back. And it's not only him, it's Joanne Chesimard, who shot Warner Forster on the New Jersey Turnpike in 1973. It's Victor Garena, who was an armored car thief, and Charlie Hill, who was a hijacker and cop killer. These are at least 4, and they say there's 70 fugitives in Cuba, and we need to bring them back, Steve.
I mean, this is a president who is embracing Iran, for instance, and they have prisoners. They have a pastor, Abedini. We've had his wife and family on now. He just recently met Obama with that family, and Abedini wrote a note praising the president for meeting. But again, here's a situation where you would think that, and I think any other president would have said, okay, I'm going to sit down with you. You want this, you want that, you want a deal, you want a better relations, you want travel. But here's what you got to do for us first. This man doesn't have it in him.
Steve, we are the most powerful nation on earth, or at least we were. He believes in capitulation rather than negotiation. There is no negotiation. Look at the Bo Bertog situation. He lets him out. And he lets out 5 terrorists. One you just told me before is going back to the fight.
Reporting that they've gotten word that, and the government told their State Department official that he's gone back to the battlefield. But of course, the Taliban.
The Taliban, they're not a terrorist organization.
No, they're an armed
just
insurgency.
a bunch of guys with machine guns who kill people.
My God, what have we become?
We've become a laughing stock. And we better turn this around. We've been talking about this, we've been preaching to the choir forever, but there are people who are willing to stand up, and I'm working with some of them right now.
And I mean, your dad, I say this to Deborah Burlingame a lot.
Yeah, Deborah's
I say your brother's smiling down on you from heaven. Well, your father, it happened to her as an adult. You could have easily have gone on with your life missing your dad, but never getting involved the way you've gotten involved. And you, to honor him and to make sure that justice is done, have done such great work in his name and in the name of other victims of terror. And I'm sure he's just smiling at you every day.
Well, Steve, thanks so much for saying that. I couldn't not give my best. My father deserved my best. And that's what I'm doing. That's what Deborah does. I'm good friends with Deborah. We are driven and we're not only for our own loved ones, but for everyone else's, and hopefully we can make a difference. We're trying.
You know, Loretta Lynch is had a committee grilling yesterday to a certain extent. Ted Cruz was phenomenal with her, and Ted Cruz asked her about the IRS scandal, asked her about being independent from the president, not being a rubber stamp, and he said, "I'm very disappointed that you refused to answer these questions. You refused to say that you would have appointed a special prosecutor, whatever." Do you fear that she is just another Eric Holder, and that has nothing, folks, to do with race?
Right.
We're talking about philosophical beliefs and political beliefs.
Well, Steve, yes, I do fear it. Why wouldn't we fear it? You know, I testified at Eric Holder's confirmation hearing about his role in the release of terrorists. I think that she may be a little stronger on terrorism than Holder, because I think Holder's been a terrorist advocate. At least I don't know that she's that, but I did read what she had said yesterday about amnesty and people working. They should have the same rights as Americans.
Well, isn't that against
it's terrifying.
the law?
It's against the law. And she's the chief.
Yeah.
She's the chief law enforcement officer of the country potentially. So yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you fear that when you have Obama making the appointments? Because I got to tell you, he's not on our side, and it's hard to say whose side he's on at times, but I don't feel that he has the best interests of America at heart when he makes these decisions. And I think we need to sort of understand that when we analyze why things are going on as they are in this country.
Yeah, no, you cannot look at it from a traditional sense of, I can't picture another president ever doing what Barack Obama has done. He warned us. He said he's going to fundamentally change America. The media giggled. They thought it was great, hope and change. And how he ever got reelected, I don't care who the Republicans are in. I have no idea. What do you think is going to happen with Cuba? Do you think you'll ever get Morales released and Chezamard released back to this country?
Yes. I promised my mom we'd do it. My mom said she just wanted to live long enough to see Morales returned, and I think we're going to do it. We have Menendez from New Jersey is teaming with Cruz and Rubio. We have Peter King and Scott Garrett. We have a sort of a bipartisan coalition that's growing. We're going to push this thing. We got to get him back. They don't even want him there.
If anybody could do it and spearhead it, Joe Connor, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Steve.
And regards to your mom.
All the best to you and your family,
We always think
too.
about your family and how she's getting along as well. All right, folks, when we come back, we're going to be joined by Leah Wright. It's an interview that we did, Leah Wright Rigger. We did this interview yesterday. You're not going to want to miss this discussion that I've had with her about black Republicans. Stay tuned.